29th. We're live here in New York City in case anything happens, and we'll preview what might occur ahead of that 4 p.m. deadline. My name is Kate Adams, Nate Burles, and Peter Schrager, Kyle Brandt, all here, all accounted for. Are you breathing?
I'm good.
Normally.
I may have to make a trade myself. I might have to trade Angry Runs for toe drag swag. I'm going to have cardiac arrest. I can't handle it anymore.
You're going to end up being that skeleton.
That's me. That's me over there playing pinball. It's not Saquon's fault. Saquon won the crown. Saquon, we will send it to you. You are a maniac.
You got half a season to go yet. Tweet us at GMFB if you have trade questions. We can ask them to Peter Schrager of the Bot 1000. But for now, we've got your Monday night highlights to wrap up week 8.
Let's go to the Monday Nighter. As you said, Kate, it's Dolphins. It's the Steelers. Doesn't jump off the marquee necessarily, but look at that. That sure does. That's Juju. We asked the question, do you have to buy 2 different pairs of shoes, or do they sell them mixed up?
You have to buy 2 different pairs, but he gets
youngest players in the league. It's been tough for him because he loses Big Ben in the year he's supposed to take over for Antonio Brown. So we love seeing this. And Boston, somebody went over 100. There's Mason Rudolph, who decided kind of looks like, is it Taylor Lautner? Is that who it is, right? One of the guys from the Twilight. I was Team Edward. But we have 17-14 Pittsburgh. And then James Conner, who was awesome last. He had his best game in about a year, went over 100. Did have to leave the game with an AC joint. Mike Tomlin said afterwards, we're going to have more on that as the show progresses. Hate it. But we love seeing Ben get fired up on the sideline. 3-4 for the Steelers, still in the mix in a wild AFC 27-14 year final. But let's look on the other side, guys. 0-7, a lot of things are mixed with Miami. So why don't we hear from first-year Dolphins head coach Brian Flores, and 40th-year Dolphins quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick on the overturned first down call late in the third quarter. This one was controversial.
It was a first down, and it was, not a first down. So, obviously we felt like there wasn't enough to overturn it. It got overturned, and we move on. We got to move on to the next series. That's what we did.
I thought I did, but obviously the replay said differently. Wish I would have kept my knee up for a little bit longer. But, I thought that was a nice, aggressive play call. I liked the play call when it came in, and I've got to get that first down.
Dolphins did not score after the first quarter last night. They've been outscored 130-20 in the second half. It's the fewest points scored in the second half by any team this season. Looking on the positive side of things, though, for Miami, home of the Super Bowl. From what you've seen from head coach Brian Flores, has he shown you he is the guy who will eventually turn this organization around? He got uber feisty yesterday.
He did. It's complicated, right? Because the Dolphins are not just your garden variety bad team. There's something else going on. They've jettisoned so many of their good players, and there seems to be a mission here to get as many draft picks as possible. So it's tough to answer that, especially for someone like Flores, who went from the Patriots to this. It's like a Billy Ray Valentine type switch almost. It's interesting. In times like this, I like to go back and look at what they said when they were announced as head coach. I go back to February in 2019, and it was almost prophetic from Flores. He said, there's going to be some short-term pain, and every time we go out there, there's going to be pain. He said pain about 26 times in his press conference, and there has been a lot of pain. I think the job requirement for this team is go out there, be determined, be positive, coach your butt off, but in the meantime, you're going to lose. And in the meantime, the Patriots' defense has gotten better since he's been gone. So I think the short answer to the question is yes, because he has not had a meltdown. He has not lashed out. And they're accomplishing the mission of losing every game.
And they fight for him. They play for him. They're doing
play hard but don't win. Is that what it is?
They don't win. And that's all you can ask for with what they've got on the roster. And I'll say this. Tua might have been a little banged up, but that guy's a player. Joe Burrow's a player down in LSU. You've got all these quarterbacks coming in. If you're a Dolphins fan, it's legitimate to root for your team, but also be watching college football over the next several weeks. One of these guys will be your quarterback next year.
There's definitely a draft watch. But, when it comes to teams like this, I'm always curious to see how they show up. I've been on bad teams, and I've been on good teams. I know when teams struggle and they're at that midpoint in the season where guys know we will not be in the playoffs. There's going to be a lot more turnover on our squad. We're talking 25% of these dudes might not be on this roster next year. How do they show up and play? And yesterday, when I was watching that game, and I had zero connection to the Miami Dolphins, I was proud as hell to be a football player in the NFL because those guys, they weren't quitting. They weren't rolling over. They weren't sitting there on the sideline checking their watch saying, I can't wait for this game to get over because I just want to go home. I hope I don't get injured because I don't want nothing to happen. I'm all about my money. So there was an appreciation for a squad at 0-7, struggling as any other team, any team that I've ever seen, and still playing at a high level. At one point, I thought they were going to win the game and running away with it.
Flores.
Yeah, the Dolphins are, of course, they were active leading up to the trade deadline, which is today at 4 p.m.